Pat Valleca is starting to warm up. I'll explain exactly why Valleca is warming up today on Sunday. Well, on Friday night, we all remember it. It was an amazing double play by Nolan Arenado at second base. And during that double play, he hurt his right shoulder. That's why he didn't start yesterday. That's why he had McMahon playing yesterday as well. Earlier today, he had a chance to work out with Keith Duggar to see if he was able to go today. Don't forget, Nolan pinch hit last night. Didn't look right. Very ginger throwing the baseball, and that leads to why Pat Valleca will make his second start of the season today at third base. Now, looking at Pat Valleca, I think it's important to realize last year he was excellent, one of the better pinch hitters the Rockies had. He also had great numbers against lefties. In Los Angeles this year, June 29th, he ended up hitting a home run off today's starting pitcher, Rich Hill, the only run he gave up that game. That was a game that Tyler Anderson went 8 innings. Rockies won 3-1. So Pat Valleca, great success against Rich Hill, looking to continue this weekend as the Rockies are looking to win this series. Chad Bettis is going to help lead the Rockies. He's got his purple on, you put on yours. Rockies, Dodgers coming up next.
I'm telling you, that may have been my favorite moment of the whole scenario last night. Come on, let's go. Firing up the crowd after he made them absolutely delirious. What a moment. The greatest moment so far in what has been a fun and entertaining journey in 2018. And now we turn the page, as you always must in baseball, good or bad. And it'll be Chad Bettis on the mound today for the Rockies as they look to take 3 of 4 against the Dodgers in this enormous mid-August series. And with the win today, they could move themselves within a half game of the top spot in the National League West, as it is their game and a half back behind the Dodgers in Arizona. Here's the Southwest batting order for Dave Roberts today. You'll notice off the top, no Justin Turner in there. He's getting a day. Brian Dozier, Manny Machado, Yasiel Puig, who homered yesterday. Bellinger is back in there. Matt Kemp has been struggling in the second half, though he has always hit the Rockies well. Chris Taylor, Yasmani Grandal, Max Muncy will play first and bat eighth in front of the pitcher Rich Hill. So Chad Bettis was very, very good in April and May, and since that time he has struggled. He's been on the disabled list for a period of time with the blister. And one of the alarming things is Chad, who is always so good at Coors Field, Huey, has struggled mightily at Coors Field this year.
Yeah, 0-1 with a .974 in his 8 starts. His batting average against of .343. The team is just 3-5 during that time. The Rockies Choose Go starting pitcher preview is brought to you by Conoco. And in his last start, Chad could not locate the fastball, and there was just too many changeups that were up, a few sliders, but just a bad night all the way around for Chad. So we've known him, we've been around him. The 9 runs that he gave up is the second most in his career. So you know he wants to go out and just erase what happened in that game against Pittsburgh. That's just his mindset, the way he competes.
Well, he's as tough as anybody you'll find. We all know that. And you know that that last start did not sit well with him. So he's ready to go. You know, he works quickly also. He'll face Brian Dozier leading things off. Dozier typically bats leadoff, though yesterday we remarked that Dozier was, well, he's in the leadoff spot. 2 nights ago he was in the cleanup spot. First pitch of the ball game is in there for a strike. Fastball command for any pitcher is paramount, and especially for Chad to work ahead, because then it gets him to his premier pitch, which is a changeup.
You know, Bud was talking about the fastball command today with Chad. He's talking about 100 pitches in a game, and if Chad throws 50 or 55 fastballs, he's got to be pretty much spot on with all of those fastballs when he hits the glove location. And you can get away with some changeups as long as they're down and the sliders that are down. You don't have to hit the glove as precise. Those pitches can't be up. But with the fastball, he's got to pick and choose and go in and out. In sometimes to the right-handers and into the lefties.
Misses away, 2-2. "13 appearances against the Dodgers, 10 starts in his career, a 5.14 ERA. And amazingly, this is the 4th time he's seen him this year.
Coming into the game, 13 2/3. No record for Chad in those 3 games. 12 hits, 5 walks, 12 strikeouts.
Now, last night was so cool. The crowd buzzing naturally, and the clubhouse was buzzing after the ball game. 2-2, and a base hit to left center field. Charlie will cut it off and hold Dozier to a single. Take a look at the Rockies and how they'll align again. Second straight ball game without Nolan in there, so it's Pat Valaika getting the start at third base. You see Ian Desmond against the lefty. He moves to left field, where he has played well on the occasions he's been out there. There's Valaika, and Ryan McMahon's at first base. Also David Dahl, you'll notice, in right field today for Cargo. Cargo's fine. I mean, Cargo's swinging the bat great, just getting a day, and then he gets 48 hours off his feet in preparation for the ball games down in Houston Tuesday and Wednesday, and then it's on to Atlanta. Heat index will be up next week. Here's Machado, and he swings and misses.
Yeah, so pack a little extra deodorant is what you're saying for those 2 cities?
Yes, that's advisable. Tomorrow's an off day, thankfully. The Rockies are playing the last of 17 in a row. In the air to right, and Dahl will make the catch. Dozier's trying to move up on him. Throw is offline.
That was not a good play by David Dahl.
He just kind of assumed that Dozier wouldn't go, and Dozier tagged and advances. That's a very good base running play by Brian Dozier.
Watch David. He catches it, doesn't assume he's going, then uh-oh, he is. If he comes up and catches that and acts like he's throwing immediately, Dozier will take off, but then he'll stop about a quarter to halfway there. But he didn't once he realized that David, yeah, he knows it.
There's no way, unless the ball's in that corner or you're running toward, right center field and it's deep, that he should have been able to move up on that particular ball. This is in the air to shallow left. Coming on is Desmond. He'll get there. And Puig is retired for the second out.
A little bit easier play for Ian Desmond when he went out to left field than he had in the Milwaukee game, where he had to go back to the wall on the ball off the bat of Christian Yelich.
That was a great play.
First batter of the game in that game.
I mean, for so many reasons. Just a great play, no matter if he played left field every day. But also having not been out there, and Charlie Blackmon's running full tilt toward the baseball also, and Desi could care less. He just went up and made the catch and wasn't worried about a collision or anything. 2 outs. Here's Bellinger. Didn't start last night. He had 3 hits though on Friday night. You know what he did on Thursday. And this is pulled to first, and Bettis does a nice job. That took just 10 pitches. Left at second is Brian Dozier. First with this lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. Charlie Blackmon naturally is up top. 21 home runs for Chuck. Then it's DJ LeMahieu. Trevor Story for the first time in his career will bat third. David Dahl will bat cleanup. Ian Desmond fifth. Ryan McMahon. Chris Iannetta, who has hit a couple home runs against Rich Hill. And then Pat Valakin. Pat has a home run, as Spilly told you earlier, against Rich Hill also. Rich Hill spent a little time on the disabled list. He's making his 16th start of the year. It's pretty much fastball, curveball. The curveball is as good as you will see.
Yeah, straight over the top to curveball for Rich Hill, 75 miles an hour. Slider, I've got it down in my book, is 4% of the time, change up 1%, but it's fastball. And the thing with Rich too is he's not afraid to drop down and go a little sidearm lefty style.
And he'll do it left on left. You would typically see that against a right-handed hitter. Left-handed bats hitting just 181 against him. And if that's fair, which it's not by a lot, it would have been a double. But instead it's a souvenir.
Well, Rich Hill is also a guy that has battled blisters throughout his whole career. Spent some time on the DL this year with blister issues.
If you think it's like a recent 2018 phenomenon, guys have dealt with that. Pitchers have dealt with that for a number of years. I mean, that's how we know that pickle juice has been used in the past to help toughen the skin. Takes that off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rich Hill's 38, been around now. He went to the University of Michigan. He's a Boston native, still makes his home in Boston with his family. He dropped down there, and there's a little pop-up that'll be handed. Oh, it's dropped because of the sun. You could tell the whole way that Taylor was fighting that sun. But usually if you get leather on it, you're seeing it enough clearly to make the play.
And he called it the whole time. I thought he might give way to Dozier. He calls him off. But the thing about it, he never put his glasses down. He's wearing the flip down sunglasses, but they're still up on the Subaru Supermo.
10th error for Taylor this year.
Look at that. Right now he's fighting it. He knows he's in trouble. But that's why you have the flip downs on.
See if the Rockies can take advantage. DJ swings and misses. 0-1. Rich Hill in his career 55 and 40. This is his 8th big league team. And he's been with Boston twice.
2010 through 2012, then also in 15.
And the slow hook at the top of the zone, 1-2.
It's 14th big league season for the veteran Rich Hill. Last year 12-8 with a 3.32 ERA in 25 ball games.
Coors Field, an 8.80 career ERA in 3 starts.
You know how long ago it was since Rich Hill started for the here at Coors Field? It was so long ago that Spilly was hitting leadoff the last time he pitched here.
2008 when he was with the Cubs.
Did you get it? I didn't check that. I thought you would know.
No, I don't remember. But Rich Hill was a totally different pitcher back then.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
I mean, he was pitching very similar to like Ted Lilly. Remember Ted Lilly?
Yeah.
Sure.
And by the way, I'm really hot, if you can't tell.
That's a good look for you anyhow.
It's great. You know, we wear black polos on Sunday when it's 200 degrees
This
out.
gets
Go,
away.
Charlie!
No swing. Way to coach up Charlie. Spilly, that a baby. Hey, Spilly, I meant to mention to you, I went down to the clubhouse and you were already gone last night. You have to do a better job of microphone protection.
I felt targeted.
You were targeted. I don't think any part of that Gatorade bucket, not a drop landed on McMahon.
My daughter asked me, first thing she said to me this morning, I was like, good morning, pal. She was like, hi, Daddy. Why'd you drop that foul ball? First thing she said.
To first, that's a good piece of hitting right there by DJ. 1 out, and now the Rockies have a very nice opportunity to take a quick lead against Rich Hill. Charlie at third for Trevor Story coming up. Here's the Dodgers defensively. Manny Machado at a position he's won a number of Gold Gloves. Third base. Chris Taylor is next to him. You see it's Kemp, Bellinger, and Puig in the outfield. And Brian Dozier, who won a Gold Glove last year for the first time in his career with Minnesota, made 2 Gold Glove plays yesterday. One in the 9th against Ian Desmond, which set the stage for Ryan McMahon. And when that happened, when that didn't go through, you felt like, oh man, it's just not going to be the Rockies' night. Infield in here, interesting.
They're in at short and second, but Machado's playing back. He just trusts his arm at third. I mean, he's playing at a normal depth.
That is in there, 1-1. And I would think the thought is if it's pulled hard, again, Charlie, it's a direct throw. This will get the job done. It should.
Close.
Well, it's now about midway in the outfield. Here's Puig's arm, and the throw is not going to get Charlie. Good job by Trevor Story. And the Rockies take a 1-0 lead. It's RBI number 81 for Story.
It's his 11th RBI in the last 9+ games.
I always find it one of the more exciting plays in baseball when you have a guy who can throw and a guy who can run. Underrated play in baseball.
It is, but there was no momentum for Puig coming through the baseball. He kind of caught it flat-footed.
And one of the reasons, and you played some outfield at times, is the ball was hit so high, it's harder to, you kind of got to wait for it.
How about that manufactured run? You reach on an air, there's a pass ball, you advance on the ground out by DJ, and then a sac fly.
There's Dahl, and that's in there. Well, it is the type of run that has been elusive to the Rockies the last few weeks.
Hey, Spilly, you still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
So real quick, you did not get a hit against Rich Hill, but you tripled against Kerry Wood in that game when you were hitting leadoff.
Nice.
You're 1 for 5.
All right.
I just did some quick research.
I'll take that. I'll take any hit that I get.
Yep.
Especially against the Cubs.
Especially off of Kerry Wood.
That's right.
Yeah, it was,
We're proud of you. We love you again.
thanks, guys.
Stay
Go
cool.
back. This one.
Stay cool in that black shirt.
Here's the drop down.
Hey, Huey, let me ask you one question.
Yeah,
I saw this work in Japan. It's for the outfield plays like that at the plate. And we don't do this in the States like you do it in Japan. The outfielder would always hit an infield cutoff man, and it was a relay play. Made it a lot faster and a lot closer plays at home.
Crowd hoping for the sun to affect that pop-up. Not this time. Taylor makes the catch, but the Rockies take advantage of that miscue. Charlie eventually comes around to score on the Story fly ball. It's 1-0 as we go to the second.
A tough stretch of baseball, both on the positive side and on the negative side over the last really 16 games. And we were asking about momentum earlier this morning with Bud Black, just how important it is to have a win like last night.
If you don't have emotional wins to counter the tough losses, it makes it tough to maybe sustain momentum and keep it going. And we've had, you know, some good wins in amongst these tough losses to, you know, to keep a high level of confidence that I think we need, that all teams need.
Such great insight from Bud Black, because it is true. You go through stretches where you have a tough loss. We saw some heartbreaking losses on the road, and then to get a good quality wins like they did last week in Milwaukee. The Sunday win was a huge win for the Rockies. carried over to the next day against the first series against Pittsburgh. And then the last 2 nights, it's been fantastic, guys.
Yeah, no question. Good pitch to Kemp, and he'll ground out to DJ. 1 out. And Spilly, you talk about this frequently. We all do. The importance of scoring that first run. Last night it was important to score the last run. We understand that. But the Rockies get a marker in the first, and too frequently this year the Rockies have played uphill. And that manufactured run after Charlie reached on the error. Trevor Story's 81st RBI.
And also, though, for Chad to get out of that first inning, he's got a higher ERA in the first, but a runner at second with just 1 out, and he leaves him stranded there.
Rockies 38-14 when they score first. One strike on Chris Taylor. 2 strikes on Chris Taylor.
And that's something that I mentioned earlier, that even on the right-handers, you can't be afraid to come inside. Even with Chad's 90, 91 mile-an-hour fastball, everything can't just be away, because the hitters will just start diving out there. But it sets up that curveball.
That slow hook. Well done, Chad Bettis. First strikeout for Chad. 2 outs here in the second.
Love it. Subaru Supermo, the rotation on the curveball. 75 miles an hour. Starts off looking like it's a hittable pitch for the hitter, and then by the time he ends up finishing, he's just walking back to the dugout.
Rockies will shift for the switch hitting catcher Grandal outside on Yasmani.
Yasmani got the night off last night.
You may recall he was in the original lineup, and then Dave Roberts, the way Dave made it sound, he kind of just looked at him and said, you know what, I think you need a day. He wanted to play, Grandal did, but Dave made the decision. And so they just flip-flopped. Austin Barnes did the catching last night, Grandal today. Barnes normally catches Rich Hill, and Grandal, he's the everyday catcher, but he more frequently has caught Walker Buehler.
But it's not like your car where you got the gas tank gauge and you can see you're running a quarter of a tank left.
It's running on empty. Jackson Brown.
Yeah.
2-1.
Good song.
Great song. Yep. 2-2.
But that's where a manager just has to look at a little bit of the body language of the guy.
You see,
and he's been around him long enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Grandal not happy with Sean Barber. I think what Yasmani's going to see is there's a little different zone today than what we saw a couple days ago, the last time he was behind the plate, because remember, James Hoy had the really small zone.
And especially up high.
That was not called.
That was not called.
Both ways.
Yeah.
It's not a knock on James. He just had, that was his zone. 3-2. And that's a foul ball. And this is a weak ground ball to DJ. And a very good second inning as well for Chad Bettis. Rockies in the middle of the second leading 1-0. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 p.m. and then you'll get your Rockies Taco Special, courtesy of Taco Bell, La Masa Taco Bell. The Rockies have a 1-0 lead. Ian Desmond batting 5th this afternoon. He'll begin things against Rich Hill. It'll be Ryan McMahon and Chris Iannetta to follow. And a swing and a miss. So the Rockies have gone, Huey, get this, 20 straight games not giving out tacos. 6 runs or less offensively, 20 in a row. You say, man, that's a long stretch for the Rockies. You bet it is. The club record is 23. 3 years ago in 2015. In 07, the World Series year, they at one point in May went 21 straight, but right now it's at 20. So you know what the Rockies need? They need a breakout ball game.
They do. Fans are starving for tacos. I said it the other night. I'm hungry for tacos.
July the 20th, the last time tacos were handed out. 1-2. Go back to that ground ball that Desi hit up the middle yesterday. The Dozier, the diving stop was incredible enough. He was on the shortstop side of the bag, and then for the second time yesterday, he was able to make a glove flip to get the force.
Yeah, I thought that one was better than the first one, and the first one was outstanding.
Yeah. He's chopped to first, and Max Muncy will make the play. 1 out. Look who's coming up.
The hero from last night, and the numbers for the StatCast AI, and it's powered by AWS. So much fun to watch this for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, the Rockies won by 391 feet, 95.4 miles an hour, and then the Gatorade bath with your teammates. That one can't be measured by any number.
It's a pitch down and in that needs to be pulled, but it's a pitch that I think the first couple of months of the season would have been difficult for Ryan to pull. 2 strikes.
Well, yeah, because the way the swing was just a little bit longer back then. He shortened it up. He closed that window down of being able to pitch him or pound him inside with hard fastballs.
0-2.
Well, the funny part, I had a chance to talk to him this morning in the clubhouse, and he was saying how he didn't get a chance to sleep last night. He was so fired up and excited, but he kept thinking back to that pitch. He was like, why did I swing at that pitch down and in? Because it just became a reaction now for his swing.
This ball's well hit center field. Bellinger to the track, spins and makes the catch. He almost did it again. Think he's got a little confidence right now?
I think he's got a lot of confidence, even with 2 strikes. He's still getting his A swing off. He makes a mistake. I was with you, Spilly. I thought he first got this, and then Bellinger turning around and has to run parallel to the wall.
I come back to that swing. He's got effortless power. Iannetta gets this off the end of the bat a little bit, and Bellinger will make the catch. So it's a 1-2-3 second inning. We move on to inning number 3. McMahon got everybody out of their chairs again, and it's early in the day. Rockies up a run. 2019 Toyota Tundra at your hometown Toyota stores. By Papa John's, use code ROXWIN for 50% off pizzas at papajohns.com the next day. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Favorite moment of the ball game last night. The heck with the home run. Desi, look at the pleasure on Desi's face.
Pure joy.
Max Muncy at the plate, takes ball one as we begin the third inning. Chad Bettis gave up a leadoff single to begin the day to Brian Dozier. Since then, he's retired 6 in a row. Muncy, a dangerous cat, but not here. He gets jammed, and there's McMahon, 1 out.
You're saying ha 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 at that tweet, Billy?
Say it again.
You're saying ha 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 at that tweet?
Yeah, everybody's making fun of getting spilled on. By the way, I put that polo, the gray polo that we had to wear last night, on Ian Desmond's laundry loop. So post-game laundry loop, that polo was on his loop, and it was hanging in his locker this morning, nice and clean. So
fresh and clean today.
I'll take a bath every single
day.
night. Are you kidding me?
I know you will, because you're a team guy. You should have gone on the laundry loop last night, just all of you. And then you could have done like Huey was describing the other day, got in the washing machine.
Got the washing machine. Now you know what it's like when you get in that slump.
Rich Hill takes ball one.
It really is. It's a pleasure to do these post-game interviews, and I know I'm supposed to protect the flag. I didn't, but it was also, I said he was targeting me. He also loves it. He said today on the line as we're listening to the national anthem, he's like, Spilly, want to do it again today? I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. He's like, all right, I'll get you today again.
This ball's down the left field line, out of play.
Snuck up from behind too. I mean, you're being a professional. You're trying to get McMahon. He's firing up the crowd. You didn't see him coming up.
He got us
eyes on the back of my head.
It was stealth-like.
Desi got us in the. There it is. There's evidence. You know.
My reaction
great
wasn't.
one.
I was disappointed.
No foul tip.
No,
You said on the exchange. Okay, it was the exchange, but on the exchange, that's a strikeout of him. 2 strikeouts. Now.
He said he's pulling it out. It was a foul ball. He's out. So he's got it.
It's hard to tell on that angle. Let's see. This one should be telling. It's close because that was up in the webbing, but it works out in the Rockies' favor. Desi got us last year, Hugh. You remember in the clubhouse in the celebration after the Rockies clinched to go to the postseason, and he goes, "Hope you didn't mind." He goes,
"No,
not at all. Glad to have to wash."
He gave
beer and
both of us
champagne.
a heavy dose in that celebration.
1-1 on Dozier. Diving stop. Can Story throw him out? Of course he can. What a play by Trevor Story. 9 in a row set down by Chad Bettis with a little help from his all-star shortstop. What can't he do? comments, photos, use Twitter, and include the hashtag Toyota Talk. What's going on there, Huey?
That was a 2-try.
Who won today?
Bristles.
Did Bristles win?
Yeah.
Look
Came
at
from
Bristles.
behind.
That
Came
was
from behind.
I tell you what, an interesting move by Bristles. Running on the rail and then cutting in front of was it Bowler? I think it was Bowler. 2 strikes on Pat Valleca. Pat fouls it off. Valleca, Bettis, Charlie Blackmon in the Rockies half of the 3rd. Rockies lead 1-0. They do not have a hit yet. No Nolan Arenado this afternoon, at least in the starting lineup. He pinch hit and got plunked yesterday in that 9th inning.
But the good thing for me is he was out at least throwing today, testing it. I think that's an important step for a player.
And the nice thing is tomorrow's an off day, so you keep your fingers crossed that Nolan can participate fully on Tuesday down in Houston. He threw from a longer distance. You know, obviously that's a 15-foot lob, but he went out to about 90 feet and threw with Keith Duggar. We were watching it. He didn't ever let it go. He kind of guided the ball to Keith.
Well, and what he was working on, what we just saw a moment ago, was his footwork after he catches the ball to make sure he uses his feet and his legs on the throw to take some of the stress off the arm.
And now Valleca wisely backs out on Hill, who's taking his time. Hill won his last outing in Oakland. Went 5 1/3, gave up 2 runs on just 3 hits.
Those last 4 games, the team is 4-0 and he's 3-0.
Well, he's got a 148 since the All-Star break. I love when you can report that guys get better. I think so often we think, well, a guy arrives in the big leagues and that's kind of who he is. There's so many stories of guys that keep getting better. The guy who's going to hit 3rd this inning, Charlie Blackmon. On one hop to Taylor. Valleca's retired.
We'll let Coors Field be the backdrop for your next game day or non-game day meeting or special event. Groups of 15 to 200 will enjoy great views of the city as well as the field from this unique venue.
Huey, it looks like Arizona's going to bounce back today in Cincinnati. The Reds took the first 2 games of that series, but Arizona leading 5-2 in the 9th inning. That's in there for a strike.
But at least Cincinnati took the first 2. I mean, because you could think, oh, they're going to Cincinnati, but since Riggleman's been taken over, they're a much more competitive team.
Yeah, I would agree with you. They haven't made an announcement yet there as to what they're doing.
Not that I've heard, but I think
you and I are big Jim Riggleman fans.
we are.
I hope Riggs gets that job. Here's the 1-1. I think the clubhouse hopes Jim Riggleman gets that job.
I agree. I think he's given him some stability and some direction.
See that catch Billy Hamilton made against Arizona yesterday? He was like Spidey jumping, climbing the wall. 2-2. And that's all for the at-bat for Chad Bettis. That's the first strikeout for Rich Hill.
Only 2 outs.
Rich
was walking off.
He was all done?
Yeah, he was all done. Thought, okay, struck him out. He was about 3 steps from the line, and then the dugout had to let him know. Okay. Wait a second, what?
Yeah, we're going to play 3 outs
this is
in the 3rd.
I'll play it off.
Yeah. He had a senior moment. He's 38. Foul. Rondon was trying to grab it naturally in fair territory. One more note on the Reds. The Reds have played basically 500 baseball under Riggleman, 49-50.
got off to that brutal start.
Oh, 1 on Charlie. And this is off the end of the bat. And the Rockies go in order against Hill in the third. They have a 1-0 lead as we go to the fourth. RM to cast your vote. What's the best way to celebrate a walk-off victory? Rip the guy's jersey off, the pie in the face, which is generally shaving cream, not a real pie, the icy water bath, or the dugout snack shower of seeds and gum.
I'm a big fan of the icy water bath, especially in the summertime. Not so much in April, but I just think that's a classic.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right in the heart of the Subaru strike zone. First pitch for Chad. He's
important here. Second time through. Kept him off balance the first time through. Machado takes that out of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Machado, Puig, Bellinger, 2, 3, and 4 for the Dodgers on this Sunday afternoon. The Rockies endeavoring to take 3 of 4 in this much anticipated series. And that's a broken bat roller to Valleca.
already the 6th ground ball out for Chad.
That's when you know he is really rolling with the off-speed stuff.
Yeah, For the Win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch and Keep a Minute to Win It. Talking about the Rockies starters, that's what they've done. 18 2/3, 7 earned runs, see the 4 walks, 20 strikeouts, and that was all courtesy of obviously Kyle Freeland last night, John Gray on Friday night, Tyler Anderson on Thursday night.
Yasiel Puig hit a home run yesterday, a hanging slider, really about one of 2 or 3 pitches Kyle Freeland did not execute last night. Kyle lost in the shuffle, but not by us, and not, I'm sure, by all of you at home. He was terrific again. 7 innings of 2-run baseball for Freeland.
Had a great slider last night. Changeup was good, probably as good as we've seen this year.
Puig bounces it through the left side. It's a tough chance for Valleca, and that'll be a base hit for Puig.
Last night for Kyle Freeland, 7 innings. You said it, Drew. 3 mistakes early. That was a triple and a double, and then the home run. But then he locked it in. He just dialed it in, competed his tail off as usual. 8 ground ball outs, had a fly out, career high in strikeouts with the 10. And his ERA now at home, 2.22.
It went up 2.18.
But his overall ERA went down.
He's just a remarkable competitor. Bellinger takes low. I love this. Last night, saw this when we got home. Chauncey was at the game with his family. His wife Piper and the kids had a good time watching my Rockies beat the Dodgers tonight. Shout out to K Free, the hometown kid is balling. Keep repping the city, and DPS, Denver Public Schools. Of course, Chauncey went to G-Dub, and Freeland went to TJ. And that's one of the things that I've always loved about Chauncey Billups. I mean, he is a Coloradan and a member of this community through and through. Even when he left the Nuggets the second time, and there's a big hero in Detroit. This ball's lined to center field, a base hit, so now 2 on in 1 out as Bellinger reaches.
But I was talking to Kyle in the clubhouse today, and I said, "Hey, did you see that tweet from Chauncey?" He goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "That was cool."
Yeah, I mean, he watched him growing up.
Yeah. They probably watched him when he played at CU.
Yeah, forgot for a moment he's a big leaguer and a really good one at that. And he had the fan hat on again.
Oh, when Mr. Big Shot tweets at you.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Chauncey has been such a great ambassador for our city. All right, here's Matt Kemp. See if he can get him to roll over. That misses. Kemp hit a ground ball to second his first time out. 10 straight were retired by Bettis, and then the bouncer by Puig, and that solid line drive single by Bellinger. And this is popped up and playable. Shallow right. Dahl will make the catch and quickly get it to the cutoff man, who's the shortstop, Trevor Story. 2 outs.
Well, after that first inning, when he had that mental mistake of not throwing the ball in right away, Dozier took second base on him. Ron Gideon, who's in charge of the outfielders, kind of grabbed him after that half inning and just reminded him to say, "Hey, listen, don't ever assume anything in the game. Don't assume that guy's gonna not go on you."
It's why, you know, from Little League on up, you always coach outfield. Get the ball to the infield. Don't assess from 300 feet away what's going on. No, nothing's going on. Get the ball quickly to a cutoff man, and now the ball is in the infield. 2 outs. Taylor takes strike 1. Chad struck him out his first time.
Yeah, backup slider that caught the Subaru strike zone.
Nothing game. The Rockies in front, top of 4. 2 outs, 2 on. Here's the 0-1 to Taylor. First glance back at Puig. Puig took off yesterday with 2 outs and stole third, which
he's already in scoring position.
Yeah, that didn't make a whole lot of sense.
But he was safe for his 9th stolen base.
Sinetta pretty spry behind the plate there, catching his 4th consecutive ball game. Get to rest the legs tomorrow.
Well, he hadn't played much coming into this stretch where he's now, once they sent Tom Murphy out, getting more reps.
That's a good point, Huey. Murphy was catching more often, I think, than the other 2. And this is playable in center field for Charlie Blackmon. Good job, Chad Bettis. 2 men stranded for the Dodgers. Middle of 4. The Rockies lead 1-0, but they're without a hit against Rich Hill.
Now to sit with McMahon family. I'm sitting next to Jim McMahon, Ryan McMahon's girlfriend Natalie, and his mom Tracy. Last night had to be so emotional for you guys. Have you ever seen your son hit a walk-off at any level?
No, Ryan. We were talking with Ryan last night. We couldn't recall at all anywhere in his career that he's ever had a walk-off, a true walk-off like that.
Did you get a chance to fall asleep? I know talking to Ryan, he said last night, lay next to Natalie, I couldn't fall asleep. She was asleep. It was 2 hours later. He might have fallen asleep. How excited were you? How emotional were you after last night's game?
It was a great feeling, obviously an exciting win for the Rockies. So proud, obviously, that our son was able to contribute like he was last night. But I think I watched ESPN 3 times till about 2 in the morning last night.
Well, here you go. You got a leadoff double from DJ. Jim, I got to ask you, too, as a parent, in front of 47,000 fans, just the emotion of the crowd, what was your immediate reaction? Did you look to your wife, Tracy, and just go, oh, my gosh, I can't believe that just happened?
That's exactly what I said. I said, can you believe it? Can you believe it? And, yeah, it was very, very exciting to hear this crowd erupt. It's such a great crowd, a great fan base, and they've been so receptive to our son from day one. It was really, really great.
Drew, you got a question?
Yeah, I do. I want Jim to recount the story. I ended up walking out with the McMahons last night, and he told me a hysterical story about when Ryan was younger, and it had to do with the TV remote.
I want to make sure he gets over it.
This is a battle for Bellinger with the son. Unfortunately, Trevor couldn't move him there. 1 out. Go ahead.
Jim, Drew just shared a story that you guys, as you were walking out last night, you shared a story about Ryan and the TV remote. Can you share that with me right now?
Yeah, well, it's perfect time of the year. They got the Little League World Series going on, and obviously we're a big baseball family, and we were in our backyard, and Ryan was inside watching the Little League World Series, about 10 years old, came out, he's like, Dad, this guy just hit this big home run. He took this big swing, and the remote went flying into the middle of the swimming pool. It was all kind of slow motion, and it's like, did that just happen? But yeah.
Well, this is happening right now. DJ trying to win the race to the plate. He will. He is now going to watch Dahl go to second. Well, is DJ okay at the plate? He is. 2-0 Colorado. David Dahl coming through.
Left on left, where the opposition was hitting a mere 181 against Rich Hill. David Dahl coming through with the solid line drive. And as far as Puig had to move, Stu Cole being aggressive as this throw comes in, it's really close at the plate. DJ reaches around. I think it hits DJ in the head. We'll get a closer look on the Subaru Supremo. It does, and good thing for him, he's got that left ear flap on. But because of that, then Dahl moves up into scoring position to second base. David, his 16th RBI of the year.
Now Desmond. And this is in the air to Puig and right. And moving up, trying to. And I don't know why David did that. He's already in scoring position. You're challenging Puig's arm, and he's out. So that'll end the inning. The Rockies get their first 2 hits. They get another run. It's 2-0. Spilly, thank the McMahons for us. Tell them whatever they're doing with their kid, keep on doing it. Subaru is Subaru by StubHub. Rockies fans, get your tickets at StubHub, official partner of the Colorado Rockies. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Rockies leading 2-0 on this beautiful Sunday in our gorgeous state. And the first pitch to Grandal is inside, ball 1. Chad Bettis has been terrific. He's allowed 3 hits. That's it. Bottom third of the order for the Dodgers here in the 5th.
When he wiggled out of that traffic that he had last inning with the 2 singles with a couple flyouts, clear the 4th inning.
Three infielders on the right side. And that fastball's in, and it's important that he throws in with the fastball really to both sides of the plate, which will, you know, open up the outer third of the plate for his soft stuff. This is going to be a challenge for the Rockies' Charlie Blackmon, but he makes the catch. 1 out.
A good jump on that ball. It's tough too at times because that's the one that's slicing away from a center fielder off the bat of the left-handed batter.
And another left-handed batter with thump in Max Muncy. Muncy out in front his first time up, hit a convenient ground ball to McMahon. And he takes a strike.
Top of the Subaru strike zone.
Went up there again.
And that one he didn't mean to go up there. He wanted that one in.
Max Muncy, 27-year-old, will be 28 in a couple of weeks, was a non-roster invitee to Dodgers camp this year. Played the entire year in AAA last season. And he played well. He hit .309. But you say, okay, probably hit a lot of home runs, PCL, right?
Yeah.
He hit 12.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he's got 26 this year.
Just missed 3 and 1. He had big league time in 2016 and 2015 with the A's. In 2016, 113 at bats. He hit 186 with a couple of home runs. The previous year, he hit 206 in 102 at bats with 3 home runs. He walks here. And now this year, he's the toast of Tinseltown.
Team leader in home runs and missed the first 3 weeks in the big leagues.
First walk allowed by Chad. And that'll bring up Rich Hill. Muncy, not exactly a flyer at first. And that was an interesting attempt. Looked like he was bunting for a hit.
Trying to bring it with him towards first base. But if I'm Pat at third base, when I start to charge, I'm going to set my feet like I'm going to make a throw to second base to get that lead runner.
Only one play for Chad, and that's to throw to DJ. So the sack bunt, 2 outs. Muncy at second. Brian Dozier coming up.
Well, fans, you can take a behind-the-scenes tour of Coors Field. Group and individual tickets available year-round. Call 303 Rockies or go to rockies.com/tours.
Chad, like the left-hander who worked yesterday, Kyle Freeland, no issues throwing the baseball as a pitcher.
No, he can pick it up and fire it. We'll have to run it over there.
Trying to shave the corner, could not. 1-0 on Dozier. Sharp single to begin the ball game to left center for Brian. And then he was robbed of a hit on a hard ground ball in the 5.5 hole by Trevor Story. 2-0 Colorado. They just got their first 2 hits last inning. Yeah, had a LeMahieu double over the head of Puig, and a sharp single to center by David Dahl to bring him home. All right, we're 2-0 here. What do you like?
I think he likes something away from Dozier. That last pitch was just one that slipped out of Chad's hand. But he had the walk to Muncy. He's falling behind 2-0. Just trying to think. I don't think he'll put a fastball in behind the count 2-0.
He went slider, and it's off the plate. 3-0. You have Machado on deck. And even here with this Dodger lineup full of power hitters, you can't just throw a cookie in there. 3-0. So he did. A walk to Dozier. That'll bring up Machado. And he's got Manny twice. A fly ball to right and a ground ball to Pat Valake at third. First 2 walks of the game for Chad have occurred in the inning. Machado so far in a Dodger uniform, 276 average coming in, a couple of home runs. On the season, he's hitting .315. He didn't allow the tough year for Baltimore to hurt his standards.
Baltimore coming into today was 35 wins, 83 losses.
There's a few teams in that American League that if they could pack their bags, head on vacation right now, they would. Baltimore obviously one of them. Swung on and missed. Good pitch. 1-1. I think he's a guy. Dozier's got that leadoff mentality, Huey. Machado, as accomplished as he is, he's going to expand a little bit more.
Well, because that's what he's done. I mean, he's an RBI guy. So RBI guys, they snip those things out there. This year with runners in scoring position, Machado 333, a 956 OPS. So they will expand. So sliders are good.
This ball in the air, center field. Charlie on the move, will get there and tuck it away. Chad Bettis getting the big outs this afternoon. He's got a shutout through 5, and the Rockies have a 2-0 lead on a Sunday.
of the game on Friday night, and then he just said, I'm going to top that with the walk-off on Saturday night, and took a deep drive to center field his first at bat today. Ryan McMahon.
Yeah, I thought he hit that out.
I did too.
Especially on, you know, another warm day. It's in the mid 80s. First pitch is strike. Second time through for the Rockies against Rich Hill.
Got away with one, did Ryan. That was on the outside of the Subaru strike zone.
Out front on the breaking ball, 1-2. How about some more interesting tidbits about last night? Fifth walk-off win of the season, third with the home run. Of course, Story has one, Blackman has one, and then yesterday McMahon put his name on the list. First walk-off home run to snap a shutout, though, in franchise history. And it was 2-0 in the bottom of the ninth. And the first player in franchise history to hit a game-winning home run in the 7th inning or later in consecutive games. And the first rookie in the big leagues to accomplish that in 11 years. Chris Young is still going strong. Chris did it with Arizona back in 07.
That was June 5th and 6th in 07 for Chris Young.
Waited nicely. What a night. What a night for Ryan and for the Rockies. We've had many conversations of late that the Rockies haven't had many of those, you know, games where it looks really bleak and they come back and win. I thought he held up. He did. And checked it out at third with Quinn Walcott.
What'd you say last night? Just one win after they've been trailing after the 7th inning?
Yeah. Now two.
Yeah.
And they have one hit with runners in scoring position the last 2 ball games. And they have 2 victories. Ryan had that hit, and today they have 1. So now they're 2 for their last 23 over the last 3 games with runners in scoring position. They're 2-0 and they lead 2-0.
Yeah, they snapped an 0 for 19 last night with that hit by Ryan.
Dropped down and it was dropped. So Ryan will stick around, get another opportunity.
Subaru Super Mode dropped down, tried to elevate the fastball, then that's tough for a catcher. A lot of times that's just pure luck.
And Walker hit by pitch. Either way,
hit by pitch.
You're going to go to first. Obviously, you write hit by pitch in your scorebook. Leadoff man on for the Rockies. Third time in 5 innings, and the previous 2, that leadoff man scored. The error in the first when Charlie Blackman's pop-up was dropped by Chris Taylor, and then last inning on the line drive double by DJ.
Yeah, if you're going to get hit by a pitch, the best one is some slow breaking pitch on the Subaru Super Mode that gets you in the leg. One thing Rich Hill has done today is pound the strike zone with first pitch strikes. He's 14 of 15.
Fly ball to center field for Chris his first time.
So yeah, the announcer jinx. He's 14 for 16. After I say that, he throws ball 1.
Good job.
But we always get it the other way when we jinx somebody.
Yeah,
so
but nobody ever says anything when you get it right. Chris does own a couple home runs against Hill in 15 at bats. Swinging the bat much better. He was in a spot where he went 5 for 46 and then went 5 for 8 the first couple games of this series. And that
includes that big home run.
Yeah, and actually you go back to the previous ball game when he got robbed on the 107-mile-an-hour
Oh, yeah.
ground ball, a line one hopper that Josh Harrison made a great play on. That's up 3-1. Valleca's on deck. Actually, I said Josh Harrison. That was Adam Frazier of the Pirates. Three and two. Hard to start McMahon. McMahon has solid speed, but it's hard to start him against Hill.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it here.
I wouldn't do it either.
No, if something happens, Chris hits it on the ground, so be it. But I'm not going to take that chance that you take off just a little bit too soon, and then Rich Hill throws over and he gets you picked off.
Not going. High fly ball. That's going to turn foul. I thought off the bat that one was clicked better than it was. So I'm getting home run now.
That's okay. After last night, we were kind of holding our breath for a second. I knew it was going to be off the wall, but I just didn't know if it was going to get up high enough off the wall. Or, I mean, above that high wall out there is what I meant to say.
Hitters like to see on that pitch down and he just dropped the barrel on it.
Dropped the barrel.
That is gone. He's upset. He thought he held up or was mad at himself for even starting his swing.
He's more mad at himself. That's always a tough one on the Subaru Supermo. Tried to hold up, but it just kept going towards the back foot. You're kind of looking at that one. I think he might have been more upset with Jeff Kellogg.
Ball one on Valleca. Pat making his second start this year at third. He's got 10 starts at first, 10 at second. Has a start at shortstop. Back and forth 3 times between Denver and Albuquerque this year for Pat.
Watch the sun here.
Dozier makes the catch. That'll bring up Bettis. Thirteenth matchup this year between the Rockies and Dodgers. They'll play 19 times. So another series in Los Angeles, another series here in Denver. The Rockies, by virtue of their last couple of victories, now 5-7 against LA this year. 2-4 at home.
Well, the other thing too, since that DJ home run in San Francisco, they haven't lost a series to a National League West team since then.
They're playing great baseball inside the division, and they will have to continue that the rest of the way. Again, the Diamondbacks win today in Cincinnati. The final score there, they ran away late, 9-2. Rockies began the day a game and a half behind both the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. They had identical records. You know who's come on, and we saw a glimpse of why they were perhaps going to make a move, because they're starting pitching and some of the arms they have coming out of the bullpen. The St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals began the day with the same record as the Rockies.
And they're leading today 4-2 over the Kansas City Royals. Another one of those teams in the AL. It's just having a abysmal season.
So Bettis got, after the leadoff man reached it, Ryan McMahon. Nothing much happened after that. So we'll go to the 6th inning. The Rockies shutting out the Dodgers 2-0.
Taylor McGregor to talk about his favorite memories in Colorado. Plus, Coach Ron Gideon gets an inside look at the play ball exhibit at the History of Colorado Center. And several Grand Junction Rockies lead their Pioneer League team to an all-star game victory. All that and more coming up today after the postgame show. Rockies leading 2-0 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. It is a hot day. It is the biggest series of the season. Rockies looking to win the series on a 4-game stretch. Guys?
All right, Spilly, and I want to hand out some kudos. Our crew, our AT&T Sportsnet crew, does a marvelous job with the club. It is a great show, and a lot of thought and a lot of energy gets put forth every week.
A lot of that hard work, credit to Ryan Morrison.
Who?
Ryan.
Oh, the guy. Okay.
Yeah, Ryan Morrison.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you remember him?
Yeah. Puig swings and misses. Bellinger and Kemp to follow. Big inning here for Chad. Last couple of innings, he's dealt with a little traffic in the 4th. He had a couple of singles, one by Puig, one by Bellinger, and then last inning was a couple of walks. Chad throwing a game that's reminiscent of what we were watching early in the season when he was so good.
Yeah, his first 4 starts of the year at 1.44 ERA.
Out of the gate, he was the best in the rotation. As great a year as Freeland has had. At that point in time, Chad was pitching better than anybody.
Yeah, he had .108 whip in the first 4. The next 6 weren't bad either, so his first 10 games were pretty sharp.
But he nibbles a little bit there, and a leadoff walk to Puig.
3rd walk in the last inning plus.
Probably a little bit of an alarm bell. There you go, Buddy Black. Answer the phone down the bullpen.
Well, the other thing too, that not only can they hear it, there's a light that flashes on that phone out in the bullpen.
So Darren Holmes will get somebody up here. Could it be Chris Russin potentially? Russin's back healthy in the mix. Bellinger takes low.
Well, it might be Jake McGee. That might be somebody that you look at right now. It will be Jake.
Bellinger yanks it foul. This guy's a scary guy. He's got, as everybody knows now, big time power. Not having quite the year he did in his first season, but he's still sitting on 19 home runs.
And he's hitting over .430 in the month of August.
Bettis trying to freeze Puig, and this could be 2. There's one, and they get him. Yes! Bellinger, a tough man to double. He runs exceptionally well. Rockies turn it over 4-6-3. Actually 4-5-3. They had to shift on. That was Valleca at second.
So he has to go over and get in position. DJ gives him a good feed, and then Pat from his UCLA days makes the turn. He is out on the Subaru Supermo.
Hey, remember that play.
That's the 114th double play the Rockies have turned this year.
It was the Dodgers on Thursday turning all those double plays, 4 of them. There's Kemp.
Dodgers have turned 8 in the 3.5 games now. They had that one earlier in this game.
And Kemp's going to pop out again. Shallow right. DJ says, I got it, and he does. Chad Bettis, the leadoff walk to Puig, not an issue. He gets Bellinger to ground into a 4-5-3. We roll on 2-0 Colorado.
15,000 fans on Friday, August 24th will receive a Charlie Blackmon beard beanie. That's courtesy of the Colorado Beef Council and KOA News Radio. So you get the beard beanie. The thing is, you get to take it home with you too.
I think this is a big inning. The Rockies are seeing Rich Hill for the third time. It's the top of the order. There's Chuck. DJ to follow, then Trevor Story. The Rockies have 2 runs on 2 hits. Chad has pitched a wonderful game. Get him a little breathing room, and ultimately the bullpen as well. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. You talk about the offense. We mentioned it's been 20 games since they've scored 7 or more in a contest. You knew it was going to be tough with Rich Hill today, and then you go to Houston, you get Verlander and Cole.
It's big leagues, and then we've already seen Garrett Cole here. Didn't see Verlander.
Verlander in his
He had a
last
short
start
outing.
gave up 6 runs in 2 innings.
Boy, he got kicked out too.
They wanted to get kicked out at that point. Man is so innocent looking. Wonder if he gets Chuck Nasty in 5 years. If he goes Chuck Nasty in 5 years. This ball hit to the opposite field with authority way back and gone. Charlie Blackmon goes Chuck Nasty. 3-0 Colorado. His 22nd of the year.
That is the first home run to a left-handed batter that Rich Hill has given up this year. The month of August has not been kind to Charlie. He's been struggling, hasn't hit the ball for the extra base hits or the home runs, but this is what he is. He's a dangerous cat. And he gets a fastball on Subaru Supermo, gets it on the barrel of the bat. 101.5 miles an hour off the bat. First home run Rich Hill's given up to a lefty.
Charlie's hit 7 of them this year. It's just his 8th home run at Coors Field. But that was a big one. Wow, that was called a strike, so it's 0-2 on DJ. Not much of a reaction. Thought it was in, at least by his movement in the box. 1 out.
And time for the Subaru StatCast on Charlie's home run. As I mentioned, 101.5 miles an hour off the bat. Launch angles 25 degrees. Not only was that a first home run, that was his first extra base hit in August.
He's been grinding. Here's Trevor. Got a 9-game hitting streak going. Trevor had a 13-gamer earlier. Sack fly in the first. And a fly ball to center is next time up. 0 for 1 officially. And that ball's left to left. That's a 10-game hitting streak. A bullet off the wall, and Trevor still trying to get into second with a double. He's out. That was the kindest bounce off a wall you'll ever see. It went right to Matt Kemp, who turned and threw a strike to Dozier. 7-4 on the putout, and it has to be perfect to get Trevor.
Because he was running hard. Some guys will not take up hard out of the box, assuming it's just going to be a double, but that kick back off the base of the wall, it was like almost like a hard grounder back to Matt Kemp. Trevor tried to attempt the slide going out and around, and that ball stayed pretty true too on the 1 hop.
So here's Dahl. That's one heck of a break for the Dodgers. You credit Matt Kemp, as you said, he made a perfect throw. That was hit so hard that he turned around. And I think virtually anybody else for the Rockies, save maybe Ian Desmond, would have shut it down and said, all right, it's, you know, it's going to be a 350-foot single.
No,
maybe,
I
maybe
don't,
David Dahl also.
Yeah,
but
I don't fault Trevor for going to second on that one.
No, you're up 3-0. It's going to take a perfect throw still. You could fly.
And you're not expecting that ball, if you hit it that hard, for it to ricochet that hard off the padding. But underneath that padding, there's a little concrete area, and I think it hit that, and that's why it came back so hard.
2-1. Dahl drives this to right field. Puig going back. It's going to make the catch. So the Rockies had an inning in which Charlie Blackmon goes deep and a couple other balls barreled up against Rich Hill. The lead now 3-0. Fees, that's transparency. Last night, Freeman's boys had a lot to cheer about, and they had a lot to cheer about this afternoon so far. Rockies leading 3-0 as we move to the 7th inning with Jeff Hewson and Ryan Spilborg and our entire AT&T Sportsnet crew. I'm Drew Goodman. Some changes for the Rockies defensively. Gerardo Parra comes in left field. Ian Desmond goes to first base. McMahon goes from first to third. Pat Valaika comes out. And the Rockies have Oberg and Jake McGee up. Chad Bettis is ahead of Taylor 0-2.
'77 pitches for Chad, 44 strikes. Those are perfectly located on the Subaru strike zone. Ready to go back there in the same vicinity a third time. Well, first two pitches were sliders, and I think that's a good pitch against Taylor, either another slider or curveball.
One-two, foul tip held by Iannetta. One out in the 7th inning. Second time that Chad has got Chris Taylor today. His third strikeout overall. That'll bring up Yasmani Grandal. So I got my went out as I do every morning. Got my Denver Post. And the Rockies' great win last night was relegated to page 5 in the sports section. And hey, listen, I love the Broncos as much as the next guy, but the game that didn't count, a preseason game, number 1, was all over. And I knew it should be, you know, part of the front page, but the Rockies in a game that ended at 9 o'clock, so before, you know, late deadlines, and they were relegated to page 5. 1-1. That's why I'm
No,
needling the post a little bit.
But in a division that they're a game and a half back of first place in August, middle of August. Got it.
2 balls and a strike on Yasmani Grandal.
Well, there was 47,000 plus here last night, a sellout that were pretty happy. We're going to have another big crowd again today.
Yeah, they're still totaling it up. Rooftop's busy, as it always is. Man, what great weather this week. For the series against the Dodgers. 1 out, 2-2. And Grandal held up. It would be massive if Chad can finish this 7th inning. 3-2. Borderline pitch, and it's called a ball. So Grandal goes down to first, and here comes Buddy with Muncy coming up. It'll be Jake McGee, you would assume. No move yet. Hey, give that man a standing ovation when he goes off.
Great job,
And everybody in purple is standing now. What a marvelous performance this afternoon by Bettis. That a baby Chad. Time for the Kubota pitching performance. Chad Bettis has allowed just 3 hits and 6 1/3. He walked 4, struck out 3. Is responsible for Grandal at first. But what a performance by Chad. As he conjures up memories of what he was doing early in the season. Biggest game of the year for Chad and the Rockies, because the next one's always the biggest, especially when it comes inside the division. And boy, did he do his job and then some. Now he'll spectate as Jake McGee will face Max Muncy. Justin Turner's in the on-deck circle to hit for Hill.
Well, for Jake McGee, 2 nights ago, he got the W to move to 2-4, inning and 2/3, gave up 1 hit. But that was probably as electric fastball as we've seen from Jake on a consistent basis. I mean, he was 96, 97 on some of those fastballs.
And this guy hits lefties, though. Muncy. You know what kind of power he has. Muncy hitting just under 300 this year, left on left. Takes ball 1.
And with Turner on deck, this might be the only hitter for Jake. Scott Oberg up for the Rockies.
1-1. Well, on the LA bench, their biggest weapon is Turner. That looked pretty good, and it is at 95, 1 and 2.
Came back into the Subaru strike zone.
They have
Chris had to reach for that one.
Yeah, they have Kike Hernandez, Austin Barnes on the right side. Barnes, the backup catcher, and on the left side, Jock Peterson. 1-2. Two. Swung on and missed by Muncy. 2 outs in the 7th.
Last 2 pitches, 96 and 96 from Jake. He just said, here it is, hit it. And it's in a great spot, too, up above the letters or right at the letters. Hard for a hitter to catch up to.
And this is the Jake McGee that we have seen in the past. Mid to upper 90s with the fastball, and he'll be allowed, based on what Buddy Black looked at, he'll be allowed to go after Justin Turner, who, I've said this before, in my mind, the toughest out for the Dodgers. I mean, I think he's the most consistent guy with the bat.
This is how much I look at Justin Turner. When I saw his name in the line, not in the lineup today, I said, oh, thank you. I mean, that's the type of presence he commands for this Dodgers team.
No swing. That's at the bottom of the zone, but it was called a ball.
Well, Buddy just asked if that ball was low, and Sean Barber said yes. Not according to our Subaru strike zone.
Quick off, and that's down the right field line. Grandal to third, and he's going to get a stop sign there. So it's second and third with 2 outs. That redhead, man, just hits line drive after line drive.
Well, and then fortunate because Grandal was running, because David, this is a tough corner here. On that right field corner, if you get too close to it, the ball will kick off there and then get past you. And Turner goes into second. Grandal not able to score.
So with Dozier coming up, a sticky moment with 2 outs in the 7th. And the Rockies will summon Scott Oberg to face him. Now pitching for the Rockies, number 45, Scott Oberg.
2018 postseason tickets plans start at just 10 ball games.
So Brian Dozier against Oberg, 2 outs, 2 in scoring position after the double by Turner. Rondal's at third. And a slider for strike 1. There's been only 1 encounter between Dozier and Oberg. Scott Oberg got him out.
35th game of the year. Scott, third of an inning on Friday night. Just 5 pitches.
1-1. Dozier hitting just .226 this year, right on right. It's the combination of many games in Minnesota and a relative handful since the trade with Los Angeles. Single and a walk, robbed of a hit by Story. And that is a base hit that's going to tighten things up considerably. It's now a 3-2 game. And the issues for Scott with inherited runners continue.
One of those runs will be charged to Chad. The other one will be charged to Jake McGee. Too good of a fastball on the 1-1 count to somebody like Dozier. Crept back over, split the plate. 2-out knock for Dozier. RBI's 10 and 11 with the Dodgers.
And now you have Machado at the plate. Well, the last 2 days, good days for the bullpen. Scoreless days as the Rockies won on Friday and Saturday. Machado today handled nicely by Chad Bettis. A couple fly balls of the weak variety and a ground ball to third. Two runs, 5 hits for LA. They've made 2 errors. The Rockies 3 runs, just 4 hits. 1-1. This 7th inning has been so problematic for the Rockies all year. We frequently talk about the first. The first, the Rockies have given up more runs than any team in baseball, but the 7th inning hasn't been a whole lot better. It's that transition inning. Trying to get it to the 8th and typically Adam Ottavino on the plus side.
It's a small part of why they went out and got O's, too, to help with that transition inning.
1-2 on Machado.
Good job by Chris smothering that ball.
And we've seen Scott Oberg, throw the ball, especially the clean inning, throw the ball well. What has been the issue for him is inherited runners. We alluded to that. 37 inherited runners now, 23 have scored.
It's the highest mark in baseball, over 60%.
2-2, and got it. For the Rockies, as Machado breaks his bat over his knee again, or attempts to, he got it done. And the Rockies will walk to the dugout now with a 1-run lead. Middle of 7th.
3-2, a little pitching change for the Dodgers as they make this game a little bit tighter. That's John Axford, former Colorado Rocky, coming in. Now, with Kenley Jansen going on the disabled list 2 days ago due to an irregular heartbeat, it's put the Dodgers bullpen in flux. Kenta Maeda and Ross Stripling today were told that they're going to move to the bullpen, which means that Alex Wood and Hyunjin Ryu, who are coming off the disabled list, will join the rotation. So we'll expect to see that Maeda, obviously throwing yesterday, will be unavailable today. But it is a closer by committee now for the Dodgers moving forward. Guys?
Spilly, thanks. And Huey, you spoke of this last night. You are not a fan of bullpens by committee.
No, I'm not. I just think that, especially with the bullpen, these guys need their defined roles out there. Now it might, switch during the course of a season, but you got to have somebody you go to. I've never seen a bullpen by committee or closer by committee ever work. It might work for a week, but not over the long haul. I mean, I understand why Dave Roberts thinks he has to do that, just because when you lose Kenley Jansen, it'd be a tough guy to replace. But that's not a favorite of mine. John Axford between Toronto and LA, and Rocky saw Axford the other day. He wiggled out of giving up a leadoff triple and not giving up a run.
He's still got a big arm. And this is an easy play at short. And Desmond retired. That'll bring up Ryan McMahon. Rockies up 3-2. Quickly going over the pitching lines. Bettis 6 1/3. He gets charged for 1 run. Just 3 hits allowed. He did walk 4, struck out 3. Chad pitched exceptionally well. Jake McGee, 1/3 of an inning. He's charged with a run. See Justin Turner stays in the ball game.
There's Justin right over there on the switch.
Oh, 1 on McMahon, fouled off. Ryan could hit another home run here and give the Rockies a 2-run cushion. That wouldn't be looked at, frowned upon by the crowd of almost 41,000.
No, to hit a home run 2 in 3 straight games, I think that's doable.
Sure. Nolan always has a bat in hand, but now he's preparing seriously for a pinch hitting at bat. Strike 3. So Axford has 2 outs in the 7th. Adam Ottavino preparing to throw the 8th inning. It'll be Puig, Bellinger, and Kemp. Come to another storyline for the Rockies in 2018 that the Rockies will try to amend over the final 40-some-odd games, and that is to win games late, not just literally like the 3-run home run, but win innings late. 7, 8, 9. The Rockies offense has been outscored by a considerable margin this year, and they're going to play a lot of tight games because they have a very, very sound rotation.
Well, yesterday was their 20th 1-run game that they played in.
They'd be good in 1-run games.
They have.
But again, you're going to play so many the 1- and 2-run games where, you know, an extra run or you're down a run and you need to score a couple runs, 7th, 8th, and 9th. And yesterday was awesome, tremendous. But we had said going into the heroics of McMahon last night, trailing after 7, the Rockies had 1 win all year.
Just not only to get into a game, but also to take a little bit of the tightrope that the bullpen has to walk. Just give them a little more breathing room.
Chatting with Buddy this morning, and you know, he knows they're going to be, as we were discussing, a lot of tight games. But you still, as a manager, I mean, every manager out there would love. You know, how about throw out that 10th spot here, where you can kind of cruise through a ball game? That hasn't happened in a while.
Take his stress level, his blood pressure down a few notches,
and all the thousands of Rockies fans out there as well.
I wonder what if you could put a heart rate monitor or a blood pressure monitor on a manager, what it would be like.
Well, he's like a duck on the exterior, above the water. Everything's always calm. Who knows what's going on underneath the water, though, right? 2-2. Look at it.
Be careful.
Keith Duggar hasn't reacted that quickly since he was playing baseball at San Diego State. Two and two on Ionetta. Strike 3. So Axford strikes out 2 and a 1-2-3 7th. We'll go to the 8th. The Rockies leading 3-2 at Coors Field. Copy. Antonio Senzatella is scheduled to come off tomorrow, the disabled list. He'll throw a simulated game on Tuesday in Houston. He's been very solid for the Rockies. He was replaced in the rotation by Chad Bettis. Chad's made the last couple of starts. Of course, Chad was terrific today. 1 run and 6 1/3. Rockies got to finish it, though. They're up 3-2. And Adam Ottavino is on. It'll be Yasiel Puig, Cody Bellinger, Matt Kemp. Puig has had good numbers historically against Adam. 5 for 10 with a home run. Today he's been on twice. 1 for 2 and a walk. Slider for a strike.
Puig is so animated in everything that he does, whether it's out at the field or at the plate. I mean, he shows about as much emotion as a player does on every single pitch.
Dave Roberts, he did the double switch. He removed Machado from a close game. He's trying to get multiple innings out of John Axford. There's nobody up in the Dodger pen. And that is going to drop. A base hit. Now the tying run is on. Puig now 6 for 11 all time against Ottavino.
Righties are hitting just 142 off of Adam. Lefties 184. The problem you have now, though, for Adam is you got Puig who can steal a base.
And Adam is notoriously slow to the plate.
Came inside on the Subaru Supermo. Really dropped that right elbow down close to his body. Tried to pull the hands in, and he did. Let's get enough of this. Drop it in front of Mara.
Bellinger hit into a 4-5-3 double play his last time up. Bellinger base hit in the 4th.
That's why you've seen a couple throwovers now from Adam.
17 attempted steals against the relievers, a ton, and 14 have been successful this year against Adam. Borderline pitch called a ball, so it's 1-0.
1.43 on that delivery to home by Adam.
Not going. Ball 2. Ottavino with the save the other day. Adam's got 5 of those this year. Today back in the setup role. This ball's lined to right field. Dahl's got no play off the wall. They'll fire it in. Puig will go first to third. Bellinger's held to a single, but now the Dodgers have 2 on with nobody out here in the 8th inning.
If it hadn't been that play 2 off the wall by David Dahl, that might have been a double for Bellinger. This ball was scorched. But David gets it. He corrals it with his bare hand. He didn't even get his glove on that. He knows it's going to go. So you got first and third, and you got Bellinger, another guy that can run at first. Bellinger 8 for 8 in stolen bases.
Yep. Bellinger 7 for 11 in the series, and you know he's going to be running. Here's the go-ahead run. You have Matt Kemp at the plate. Sliders off the plate. Seven hits now for LA. The Rockies have the lead, but they have just 4 hits. Set for 2 up the middle. And this is in the air to right center field. Charlie, and he bumps into Dahl. Puig's going to score. Throw goes to second. He would have scored anyhow. So that ties up the game. And again, it's not cargo out there. It's not to knock David Dahl, but the communication between David and Charlie went awry for a moment. Fortunately, the ball was caught.
That's right. And, you know, even the communication, that didn't allow Charlie to get a throw off to home. I'm with you, Drew. That wouldn't have mattered with Puig's speed. But you still catch the ball. You have the double play is still in order.
And now this game entirely on the bullpens as it's tied at 3. Chris Taylor's at the plate, 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. All 3 of those at bats against Bettis. Well, again, the last 2 days, the bullpen really good, put up zeros. Today, they've allowed 3 runs. There goes the runner, and Ionetta's throw is not going to get Bellinger. 9th stolen base for Bellinger.
Adam, 1-4-3 to the plate and a slider for Chris to try to throw to second base on. Bellinger almost pops off the bag on the Subaru Supermo, but he grabs it and able to keep the toe and foot on.
So work to be done here to keep the Rockies even with the Dodgers. Everything looked great for 6 innings. Rockies were ahead 3-0 after the opposite field home run by Blackman.
And both starting pitchers off the hook. Pitch Hill off the hook. And on the flip side, Chad Bettis now get a no decision.
Worried about Bellinger taking off, and he gets a strikeout. That's big. That'll keep Bellinger anchored at second. 2 outs. And here comes Grandal.
All sliders from Adam. And this was the hard slider. Gets him to reach on the Subaru Supermo. Taylor with the leg kick. Pitch going away. Not even close.
Grandal 0 for 2 and a walk.
If you want to enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app, you can do that. Access and manage your tickets, enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Ball 5 for 11 against Otto.
Yeah, the 2 guys that have hurt Ottavino, Puig, who hurt him again with the base hit leading off the inning, and this guy. Fastball at 95, in 1-0 on Grandal. This is slowly hit. Grandal not the fastest guy in the Dodger clubhouse. That will end the inning, but the tying run comes around. Puig scores on a sac fly by Kemp. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 3-3. The Rockies will try to take the lead back. Rockies baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. So here's the situation on a Sunday in Denver. The Rockies trying to take 3 of 4 from LA. Their 3-0 lead is gone. In the bottom of the 8th, it's 3-3. Gerardo Parra will lead things off. Came in defensively 2 innings ago. It'll be his first at bat. John Axford remains out there. Nolan Arenado is on deck. It's 8, 9, and 1. Blackman obviously after that. Ottavino gave up that run. You and I were just talking during the commercial break. He did a good job to make sure he didn't give up a second run once Bellinger was at second base with 1 out.
Exactly. Could have been worse, but he struck out Chris Taylor and got the ground out.
John Axford, most of his career has been a 1-inning guy. He's dominant in the 7th, and he misses badly there. It's 2-0. Sometimes those guys who are sprinters, they sit down, they come back out, and the stuff's not as sharp.
Yeah, not used to it. And there's nobody up right now in the Dodgers bullpen, and the Rockies, the game tied. It's going to be Wade Davis. Now you hope they take the lead, and he's coming in for the save. But that's why he's up, but still nobody even getting loose in the Dodger pen.
Well, Axford, we just looked at the stuff in Toronto. That is a smash.
Are you kidding me?
That's going to turn into an out. What a terrible break. That goes right to Muncy off of Axford. Horrible break.
Yeah. That went right off the leg of Axford, right to Max Muncy at first. It's the right knee. I mean, I've seen those balls didn't go all the way into the dugout.
Yeah, or if it's 5 feet this side of it, Muncy's not going to be able to make the play before Parra passes him.
Yeah. And not only that, you had a little bit of an injury at first base with the first base umpire Jeff Kellogg trying to get out of the way. He hurt his leg.
One out. Nolan is going to be the pinch hitter. Yeah, checking Toronto's numbers. Actually, Axford 12 times this year has worked more than an inning.
And that's his land leg. Looks like he took that ball off the knee.
So we'll resume with Nolan pinch hitting. Did this yesterday and was hit by a pitch and directly preceded the home run by McMahon to win it.
Correct something. That was his right leg that was hit on that ball. So that's his push-off leg. Jumping around trying to get that leg loose.
Nolan's faced Axford one time. He does have a hit against him. Outside ball 1. Yeah, Nolan not starting 2 straight games. With a sore throwing shoulder, does not affect him swinging the bat. On the ground is short. Taylor throws him out. Now Blackman. Time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Blackman gave the Rockies a 3-0 lead in his last at bat going opposite field. His first home run since hitting one out against the Cardinals on the final day of July. His 22nd of the year. Why not have a 2-homer game, right?
I'm all for that. Yesterday, Charlie was jumping around after Ryan McMahon hit home. Let's have it the other way around. Charlie be the guy that everybody's celebrating with at the end of this game.
1-0. One and two. Wade Davis now up for the Rockies. Dylan Floro's up for the Dodgers. Muncy, Turner, Dozier in the top of the ninth for LA. Charlie scored 2 runs today, leads the National League in runs scored with 86. And he drove himself in the 6th. It was his 50th RBI of the year.
Continue that trend of hitting over 300 against lefties.
Set up away, and Charlie hits a rocket, but it is right at Taylor. So 2 hard hit balls do not result in hits for the Rockies. They go in order in the 8th. We'll do it in the 9th. Tied at 3 at Coors Field.
Between the Rockies and the Dodgers. Did you expect anything else but drama on a Sunday showdown?
Every game has been hard fought. I didn't expect it to stop now, but what a job by Chad Bettis today, right? I mean, he got 8 ground ball outs. He had everything working. Changeup was good. Slider was good. I can't wait to see McMahon's up 5th, by the way.
Ooh,
he's up 5th in the 9th.
Are you calling it again?
No, I'm just saying he's up 5th.
Okay, all right, we'll take it. We take a walk-off. There's no doubt about that. We'll send it back to you guys for the 9th inning, and we'll see you right after for the Toyota postgame show.
All right, Jenny, Sully, thank you. Wade Davis is on to push this game to the bottom of the 9th inning with a 3-3 score.
Wade had that game against the Dodgers that he came in and gave up the 3 runs. That's the last time he's pitched.
Max Muncy will be first up. Muncy 0 for 2 and a walk. And then Justin Turner, who came into the ball game with a pinch double and stayed in the 7th inning.
Muncy 0 for 1 in the matchups with Wade.
Talking to Buddy earlier today, and he's had this conversation with Wade. It's amazing because Wade has been one of the premier closers in baseball for the last 5 years, but he's fallen behind in a number of counts this year. First pitch swinging, he gets a fly ball to shallow right. DJ will make the catch, and he reminded him, he said, it was almost like, dude, you have great stuff. You don't need to nibble. And there have been too many 2-0, 3-1 counts.
Well, and sometimes too, because Wade has 3 above average pitches. You know, he's got the fastball, he's got the slider, he's got the curveball. Sometimes he wants to show them all off early on, and it doesn't have the feel of any of those. So I think that's kind of the other message is let's go ahead and attack with a couple pitches. Get those in, and to your point, work ahead.
Scary guy in Turner. He had that pinch double to ignite the rally in the 7th that produced 2 runs. And Wade on 2 pitches is going to get 2 outs. This time it's Desmond shielding his eyes. Now he'll have to deal with Dozier.
These guys have had a lot of history. Obviously with Wade in his time in Kansas City. Those are 5 for 14, including a bomb.
Yep,
against Wade.
Same division for a long time. Rockies pulled a shift onto the left side of the infield with Dozier. Ionetta goes to the outside corner. And he hits the glove just off the plate. Ball 1. Spot 2-0.
Just trying to pull both of those back.
John Peterson is in the on deck circle. It's the pitcher spot. The 2-hole in the Dodgers lineup. 2-1. Top of the zone. Dodgers after this game go home to play the Giants, and then they go out west, or stay out west. They're in the west last time I checked geographically. They'll go to the Pacific Northwest and take on Seattle. Seattle won again against Houston today, 4-3. Ooh, boy. It's a ball, and it's 3-1 now. The Rockies will head to Houston right after the game. Tomorrow's an off day. Again, the first time the Rockies will have a day of rest after playing 17 in a row, 17 grueling ones in a row. And the Rockies over the previous 16 are 8-8.
San Francisco doesn't have far to travel. They're playing at home against Pittsburgh.
They're up 3-1 in the 6th. 3-1 right now with 2 outs in the top of the 9th in a 3-3 game. Dozier at the plate. And that's ball 4. So again, the walks. You get 2 outs on 2 pitches. And now you're going to have to deal with the left-handed hitting Peterson.
It's 5 walks today for the Rockies pitchers.
And for Davis this year in 47 1/3, he's walked 25. It's the highest walk rate of his career. Two at bats for Peterson against Davis without a hit. There goes the runner, and Ionetta's got no chance unless they call. Nope, they didn't. Home plate umpire put his arms to the side saying no interference. So Dozier with his 9th stolen base, and he's in scoring position.
Yeah, first with the Dodgers, 44 on the year. And this is a good job by Trevor, too, to be able to snag this to keep that ball from going to center field. Because Chris didn't have a real good lane to throw with, and then Trevor played that on his backhand, scooped it. 44 stolen bases for the Dodgers as a team.
There's a strike. 1-1. It's entertaining and it's nerve-wracking. We understand.
Edge of your seat.
Two and one.
The other night with Jock Peterson, they really pitched him ineffectively.
Down and in.
Yeah, down and in. Good point. Down and in.
He's got power to all fields. And a swing and a miss. 2-2 off speed. If Wade keeps it at 3, or either way, you're going to see LeMahieu in the bottom of the 9th leading off. Story and Dahl to follow. Needs one more pitch here. Dozier takes off for 3rd. Wade wasn't paying attention.
Wade wasn't paying attention, and then where Mac was too, then it becomes a foot race.
By the time he looked up, though, he had no shot.
No,
Watch here.
that's what I'm saying. Dozier's looking the whole way, and then Mac, even if he gets over there, it's still going to be trying to throw to a spot.
It's a good move by Chris Iannetta. We'll come back live. Chris went out to Davis. Again, Wade's a World Series champion. Been an all-star, but Chris Iannetta at 35 still felt, you know what, after that, let me go out. Got a 2-2 count, no harm done. Just make sure you finish here. Yeah, it's a good move by Dozier. Normally you go, why? You better be safe. But if you get a wild pitch, that's what Dozier's thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Now it puts more pressure on Chris with the slider in the dirt.
2-2 on Peterson. And a ground ball right at Trevor Story. Davis works out of it. Dozier left at 3rd. Now the Rockies are set up for more heroics in the bottom of the 9th. That man will lead things off when we return. Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies Taco Special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies were down 2-0 yesterday. Got the 3-run home run from Ryan McMahon to walk them off. They'll try to walk off the Dodgers again today in a 3-3 ball game. Dylan Floro, who was with Cincinnati earlier this year, will make his 39th appearance. He's not your typical late inning guy in that most of those guys strike out 10-11 hitters or more per 9 innings. He's less than a strikeout per inning pitched.
That's because his fastball isn't the usual when you're coming out of the bullpen these days, 96 to 98 miles an hour. His on average is 93. Slider at 86, 87. Changeup is about 86. To right-handers, Floro works the fastball slider combination. DJ 1 for 3 today with that double in the 4th.
And we will tell you that DJ is due against Floro. He's 0 for 5 lifetime. Again, it is LeMahieu, Story, Dahl. After that, Ian Desmond. After that, as Sully told you, Ryan McMahon, if necessary. Ball 1. There's not been a lot of walks in Floro's game. 50 innings, 14 walks. And that's a strike. 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes on LeMahieu. Brian Shaw, as this game goes to extra innings. Nice job by Wade Davis.
Had to wiggle out of that after the 2-out walk. Stolen base, stolen base.
This ball line to right. Puig's not going to be able to get there. And he bobbles it for a moment. Here goes DJ. He'll get to second. Winning run right there. That'll baby DJ LeMahieu. That'll be an error, I'm sure, on Puig, because DJ took a wide turn, was going to stop out of respect for Puig's arm. As soon as the bobble occurred, DJ did not hesitate.
He did it.
Single and an error.
Yeah, he did it right. Finally saw Dylan Floro with the base hit. Now 1 for 6. They're playing pretty deep. But Puig gets over. DJ said, I'm not going to test his arm until he bobbles it. And then he had the momentum going. The bobble for the 6th error of the season for Puig. Remember, the Rockies took advantage in the 1st inning with the error.
Quick question. I know Trevor Story's had an unbelievable season.
Yes.
You bunt here, don't you?
Yes. I was answering before you even finished the question. He's got to be at third base and give you a couple options to be able to get him in. And for Trevor, it might not be just a straight square around sacrifice. He might try to drag one for a base hit.
Well,
whatever he's comfortable with.
The corners for the Dodgers, they don't believe he's going to bunt. He wasn't revealing a bunt there, 1-0.
That's a beauty. You know, for Trevor, too, he's feeling confident right now.
10-game hitting streak. He hit one off the left field wall his last time up, and it hit so hard, ricocheted right to Kemp, and Kemp made a perfect throw to Dozier to get him out. So it was a single, and he was cut down trying to stretch it into a double.
But I know Trevor right now, all he's thinking is, give me some pitch away that I can hit to right.
Oh, that looked like a swing to end the ball game. 1-1.
A little big. He's shaking his head. He knows that was a little too big of a swing.
Yeah. You know, Buddy's showing confidence in the savvy, the bat control portion of now the 3rd-year pro, the 3rd-year big leaguer. He's been a pro longer than that, Trevor Story. But as you said, it's an absolute must. DJ has to be at third base at the conclusion of this at bat.
Good pass on that one.
1-2. David Dahl's on deck. Winning run at second, nobody out. Bottom of the ninth, 3-3 ball game. Story strikes out, and now David Dahl will come up. It's a long walk, even though it's short by distance for Trevor back to the dugout. I think the first swing set up the at bat.
It did. Now they're going to go ahead and put David on to set up the double play, and then also go right on right.
Well, Desi's due.
He was robbed yesterday.
Yeah, he was robbed yesterday. He's 0 for 3 today. Desmond, of course, was hitting in front of Ryan McMahon last night. Outfield shaded toward right center. Slowly hit toward third, only one play, and that's first. And now they're 2 outs, and look what it comes down to.
They might walk him, though.
Well, it would make sense, because then you go right on right with Iannetta.
Once you set up a force at any base, I mean, the winning run's already at third.
It doesn't play as well for the crowd. They want to see this kid be the hero 3 days in a row. And the discussion going on right now, Bob Guerin's the bench coach. Dave Roberts obviously in charge. He said put him at first.
From a theater standpoint, it's not as good for Ryan, but it is the right baseball move. And now it just means Chris gets to be the hero.
Iannetta 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Measly single. That's what he's looking for. Out front, 1-0. Chris had a walk-off hit earlier this year.
It's a single up the middle.
Outside, 1-1.
More pressure on Floro, who not used to being in these situations.
It's kind of a weird situation for Gerardo Parra, who's on deck. He's standing there, but
he's got a bat.
Nothing. He will not participate in this inning, and he hopes he doesn't participate for the rest of the afternoon. 1-1. Way outside, 2-1. And again, something we always remind you of with the Chris Iannetta at bat. few players in baseball see more pitches than Chris. He's never hit for high average, but he's a guy that does walk.
And because you put McMahon at first base, put more pressure on the pitcher because there's not the free base now.
I'm glad Chris called timeout there because my forearms were tightening up. Two and one. Crowd standing, more than 40,000. 3 and 1. Now the weight of the Dodger baseball world.
Get on your feet.
On the shoulders of Dylan Flora.
Get up. There we go. Make this place rock.
A night of Loto Magic yesterday. How about late afternoon Loto Magic right here? 3 and 1. Ball 4. Ball game over. Rockies win it in walk-off fashion again. Literally on a walk. 4-3. The Rockies take 3 of 4 from the Dodgers. Think back to Thursday night and how lousy you felt as a Rockies fan. You thought it was going to be a win. It turned into an 8-5 victory for the Dodgers. They hit 5 home runs the last 3 innings. People were already writing the obituary. And 3 days later, 3 straight W's for the Rockies against the hated Dodgers.
And what a performance today by Chad Bettis, and then of course the second time this year the Rockies have had a walk-off walk.
Any way you can. Here's Spilly. Watch out, Spilly. Protect that microphone, please, with Chris.
Chris, what a weekend. Yeah. Unbelievable. Last 3 games for this team. Walk-off last night, McMahon. A walk-off today. Tell me what this team's feeling right now.
Just feeling good. Just trying to have good at-bats. I mean, that's the key. Just continually have good at-bats.
You're about bases loaded. You're looking for a pitch. Take me through that bat, knowing that you're trying to get a walk-off.
Sinker slider guy, just looking for someone over the plate. Pressure's on him.
Are we about to get it? All right. Thanks, Chuck Nasty. Let's talk about Chad Bettis and the way the team played today. Chad Bettis so good today. What did you see from him?
Just command down in the zone. He was mixing 4 pitches. Everything came down to how his ability to be down in the zone.
How about just this series for you guys, given where you are, how good that Dodgers team is, and how important it is for the fans to hear how important they are to you guys?
I mean, definitely in that last at-bat with how loud everyone was, the pressure's on the pitcher, it's not on us, so it helps out a ton, and we thank you for it. You know, the Dodgers are a great team, one of the best teams in baseball by far. Their offense has been incredible. You know, just the way Chad came out and handled that was really great.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Good job, fans. Corey, Jenny, to you guys.
All right, Billy, thanks so much. What a fun weekend indeed. We talked about it, the biggest week of the season, and this cardiac Colorado Rockies team responded 3 straight wins after they got down on Thursday.
I think we're just the cardiac. I think these guys have a steady heartbeat. They played unbelievable baseball in this series.
It's been a ton of fun. We're going to recap it all coming up, and the Spilly Shower on the Toyota Postgame Show.